everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are staying dry on this very, very rainy Tuesday. At least it's raining like a motherfucker here where I'm at. So I hope you're doing all good, and I hope that the start to your week has been amazing. Of course, here at the Collector Sector, we are all about inviting people from all around the world, because we've gone international with our show, to come in and talk to us about who they are, what they're collecting, what brought them into the hobby, any projects that they want to share with us, and just get to know them more on a deeper level than just what we see on Instagram or social media pages. So I'm super stoked to announce one of my next guests, super chill guy. Always love having conversations with him. Just a blast, even just persona wise. So super stoked to invite Billy Nichols from the Brand Show to come on over and talk about everything he's got going on, because it sounds like he's got a shitload of shit going on, and why not have the man himself tell you what it's all about? So without further ado, let's invite him on. Hey, kid.
A shitload of shit, huh? Sounds like I'm doing a lot over here. Holy smokes. That was quite the intro. Thank you.
Hey, man, we keep it real here. We're not going to fluff it. We're not going to. That's how it is, man. I'm not going to reiterate what you said, because I'm not going to lie. I probably forgot half the shit you just told me.
Hey, listen, if it was a good strand before you got on the show, I'll allow it. It's all right.
Right? Excellent, excellent. So how are we doing over there? We are in Boston.
Yes, we are, right outside of the city, Boston proper. Literally right outside of the city. I'm here
representing America, of course. We always have a lot more Americans in the house than we do Canadians, but that's okay. We welcome the brothers from over there as well, too. Yeah, so I have been talking to you roughly since I almost started my Instagram. Well, not started, because that was 10 years ago, and I was not in toy collecting 10 years ago.
No,
but,
I don't think any of us, well, I was, but.
So not posting about it, at least.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and like, I know from when I met you, I've seen that you've done, obviously you do toy photography, you are obviously doing your own, the Brand Show, you have your own branches where you're doing unboxings and reviews and stuff like that. So instead of me telling people what you're all about, why don't you give a little rundown about who you are?
So wait, that means I have to put my actual face on, and I have to
you don't have to. I mean, you can rip it off and talk with it flipping over here and stuff, but I don't think the viewers are going to stay tuned very long. But that's
no. Well, if you just want me to roll, I'll roll. That's fine. I got a lot to say. So
roll that dice.
Let me just get into this. If you don't know who the hell I am, my name is Billy Nichols. You can call me the Brand. You can call me Quicksilver. You can call me your Generalissimo and the Larry Bird of action figure collecting. I am the co-founder and CEO of A Bunch of Nerds and the co-host of the amazing flagship product of our show called The Brand Show. I also host a little show over on TikTok and Instagram called Unboxed. We talk about toys and what we collect. We also talk about just everything in between. I am a lifelong toy collector, and I am just one of those idiots who literally makes bad decisions and somehow just cool shit becomes of it. As you can clearly see, this isn't even an iota of my toy room. There's a whole nother side to this, but let me just tell you, this is a lifelong mission of plastic memories and nostalgia. I think if you had to define me, I'm basically a walking pile of donuts, weed, and plastic. So
are you Canadian? Because you sound like you might be Canadian.
I'm Italian, actually. Italian and Native American.
Okay.
But no, that's not the first time I've heard that. The donut comment, everybody always gets a kick out of.
Me too, man. Come on, it's been legal here before you.
Lucky you guys.
Yeah.
Geez, we weren't that lucky. We have idiot leadership. You ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
I have, yes.
Yeah, we're living through Idiocracy right now here in the States. The last 10 or 15 years, it's been one stupid decision after one another.
Bless.
I mean, we also lived through the horror that was windowless packaging too, may I add.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're still living through that, aren't we?
A little longer. We're almost there. Once Marvel Knights comes out, it's all over.
I know, right? It was funny that you just said that, because I was looking at the toys that we're talking about that we have backlog to open, and a lot of it is windowed Marvel Legends. So it's older stuff. I'm like, this is the shit I miss.
Yeah, I
get it. See what you're getting. But to be fair, I also have been purchasing the windowless stuff as well. So
we're suckers. That's really what it is. Hasbro, no. And what's even funnier, I live right down the street from Hasbro, 45 minutes to be exact. And I was there just back in November, and somebody from Hasbro and I I'm not going to name names. We went to SmackDown or Raw. I forget what it was, but we were invited by the Amica Pavilion, formerly known as the Dunkin' Donuts Center. For those of you here, you New England, that. But we were hanging out, and I kind of knew that the windowless packaging was going away because I turned to him at one point. I bought him a beer, and I'm like, "You're going to tell me the windowless packaging is going to go away, or I'm not giving you this beer." And he goes. But yeah, you see a lot of that here. You hear a lot of those complaints, and well, hey, fuck it. They know we're suckers. He told me.
For sure.
You guys are gonna buy it one way or another, so shut up and buy it. I
can honestly say there has not been one. Yeah, like in that, and then like there has not been one windowless package I've got where the product there's been quality control issues or anything. It's been what I see, right? Like. Sure. I honestly could say for myself personally, and all the stuff I've bought, the only QC issue I've had has actually been with McFarlane. And that's my Joker, my Mortal Kombat Joker got 2 left hands. Right? So I was like, wow, that's cool.
I've kind of fallen off on McFarlane given the amount of stuff that he, like, don't get me wrong, I love Todd.
Of course.
I've met Todd at Toy Fair. Todd is one of my idols. Growing up, I loved Spawn. I loved what he did with Spider-Man. Huge Venom fan. You can't see it, but there's a really big Venom Lethal Protector print right here. It's actually original art someone made for me, not a print, excuse me, but huge Todd fan. I'm not a fan of the lack of innovation that the product has had. With Hasbro going more towards double jointed and pinless joints. I'm really all about articulation and what something brand spanking new. If it's vintage, it's one thing. But if it's brand new and it's out of the package, it's just something that I have concerns about. Now, as far as quality control, I've had a couple quality control issues with these new windowless packages. And I won't buy at Target. I'll buy it like Hasbro Pulse or something. My first Cyclops VHS had resin all coming out of the shoulder. It was gnarly. Yeah, and they sent me 2 Jean Greys as a replacement. I was a little pissed off about that, so I had to buy another Cyclops. And then Emma Frost from the Chode Build-A-Figure wave. I had to buy a second one because she came with no hands.
Oh shit!
I was super pissed.
I'll take the 2 left hands over the no hands, man.
Yeah, no, she had no extra hands, and I'm like, I'm a completist psychopath. Like that's really what it is. Like, don't go down that road with me. Like when it comes to figures, if it's not complete, I'm like, where are the accessories? And I'm searching eBay till 3 a.m. until I find like, and I'm doing that right now with the Stepford Cuckoo twin, the Stepford Cuckoo. Okay. I bought them from Crunchy Cheeto, and they don't have the Cerebro helmets. I'm losing my shit over it.
Yeah, that's like me and the Super 7 Mo because he has the apron in the advertisements, but nobody got an apron. So now, like, you have to call them up. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, reach out and stuff, but like some people still haven't gotten it, right? So I'm like, well,
I got mine.
Did you? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because you guys are in the States and it's a Canadian thing, international. The people I talk to, I don't know. Right?
Big Bad Toy Store took care of everything for me.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
I just shot him an email. Hey. Boom, done.
Yeah, see, my issue is I bought it locally, so they bought it from somewhere, right? So it's going to be that whole hoopla to go through. Be like, well, here I have the receipt of purchase. Here's the serial codes. You can see, right? So, but I didn't initially purchase it, right? So,
well, you just reach out to Rudy over at Super 7 and he takes care of you.
Oh yeah, that's what the whole goal is. Right? I was like, I can make my own cape. It'd be less of a hassle, right? Make it my own custom Mo cape, right? So
start selling them on Etsy. There we go.
That's right. It's something that we have discussed here. Is I want to start making custom things like that because although I'm not a master sewer, I can make little tiny things like that for action figures. It's pretty straightforward, right? So for sure, cool. Sorry, I have so many pages.
I see John Brown in the chat. What's up, John Brown? John Brown is my sound engineer and my executive production assistant. So, nice to see my guys have.
Is that Laser Force? I was like, John, I don't see no John. Yeah,
that's John Brown. Say hi, John Brown.
I was like, wait, what's up? Good afternoon, good evening, Toy Addict. Of course, Weepa. He always says, I'm like, I don't know what that says, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
What's up, Toy Addict?
I think he gave me the rundown of what it stands for in his language. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, now I need a rundown in the chat. What is Weepa? Let's get into this. Let's talk about it.
I remember he said it, and I like quoted something from The Simpsons or some shit to him, and I was just like, what? Something weird. But I think it's just like I don't know. Oh, here he goes. That's the homie. That's the homie. That's you, buddy. So, what we got
Love it.
going on recently? I know we have unbox or a unbox, a unbox because a bunch of nerds, a
A bunch
unbox.
of
Is that?
nerds unboxed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like. A unbox. It's just weird the way that the name is. So I'm like a abo box, right?
Yeah, we
Avon.
we did, yeah, Avon. We did
Yeah.
that purposely because a lot of the names that we have been used or are just inactive. Like we have an underscore in the A Bunch of Nerds Instagram name because someone has a bunch of nerds, and
Yes.
we're in the process of potentially going after the trademark for it.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna try to get that name back. Then I'm gonna have to deal with Instagram's algorithm, and you know how Instagram's algorithm is. Everything is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay, WEPA, sorry, we have an explanation. Can be did in so many ways. Like I was gonna say a celebratory word, but I don't know. He could be telling
Like
us
A
to
with
fuck
the
ourselves.
fonts.
We're like fuck you and fuck you and fuck you too. Right?
So kind of like here in Boston, when someone says wicked, it can have like 37 meanings.
Sure.
Like
Right?
we say wicked with everything, like
Yeah,
wicked
that wicked
pisso,
cool
wicked,
man. I know.
yeah, wicked
I like
cool.
Mark
That's
Wahlberg,
wicked.
and whenever Mark Wahlberg says wicked, I was like, that's such a Boston thing.
Everybody's related to him here too. It's the funniest thing. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. There's 2 Dunkin' Donuts per every household. You know, it's funny. I live
No way.
the headquarters is legitimately in my town, on the other side of town, 3
It's
miles
crazy.
away.
We used to have Dunkin' Donuts. They're not here anymore. So it's
Well, you
my
have Tim
son actually
Hortons.
just
Why do you
said to
need
me,
it?
yeah, well, Tim Hortons is shit. So like, I'm like, not gonna lie, I actually quit drinking coffee because of Tim Hortons like 2 months ago. So I'm like, fuck that. That's shit. It's
Good
shit.
Lord.
Right? Yeah, no,
Good
I'm
Lord.
honest about it. I was buying that stuff for years, man. Why am I gonna lie about like consumer input, right? So, consumer review. It's not that great.
Touche. Really depends on the Dunkins you go to here too, but some of those Dunkin' Donuts coffees, depending on if you go to one in like the middle of nowhere, it's really good because the coffee's fresh. But
Yes,
if you go to
nobody's
like
there.
if you go to one in like Boston proper and it's like Southie on a Tuesday afternoon and nobody came in for coffee that day, it tastes like a burnt asshole covered in sewer shit. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I worked there in
I
college.
like,
It was
like yeah,
nasty.
yeah, sewer shit. That's where else would the shit go anyways? Like where else would my mind is like sewer shit? He says, where else would it fucking
Well,
be?
septic tanks, but you know.
But yeah, no, I get that. So that's me. My inner workings are like, wait, I just yeah. So shopping in Boston, obviously you have Hasbro is fairly close. I know I'm not very familiar with Boston. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not very familiar with the States at all. I can name most of the States, most, right? Being Canadian. What fun stuff around? You have ability to get a lot of stuff because obviously you have things like Target and Walmart and stuff nearby. Like you don't have to order a lot online, or is that something you do because it's a preference?
Honestly, it's a toss up between online and local shops. I'm a big fan of toy hunting. I'm a big fan of being out there in the streets, you know, looking for what I'm looking for. Down the street from my house, we have a really kick-ass shop in a town called Southeastern called the Emporium of Retro and Interesting Collectibles. Dude's name is Eric, who owns it. Guy is a legend. Look him up on Facebook. The Emporium of Retro and Interesting Collectibles, most insane shop you have ever seen. Like it, and it's an anagram for his name. His name is Eric. Emporium of Retro Interesting Collectibles. Bang. And
nice.
Like some of the stuff that I've found there over the years, ever since he opened up, he used to be a very popular shop called Land of Electronics, but was changed when he decided to take over the store. There's just some insanity that I found in there, like the Scare Glow, the original 84 Motu Scare Glow that I have came from his shop. My Dragon Blaster Skeletor came from his shop. My Thunder Punch He-Man came from his shop. My Flying Fist He-Man came from his shop. My Atom Bomb in my WWF Hasbro collection came from there too. Like he has no distribution deals, no Entertainment Earth, no nothing. And he gets some of the gnarliest shit. Like
he sure does. I'm looking at a video right now.
Yeah, like some of the stuff that I've found over the years there. Stuff that doesn't even, like Massachusetts has distribution issues. massive. Like the East Coast always gets stuff last. Like we deal with it just like you guys do up in Ontario.
Yep.
Like, you know, you don't have Target, right? I think, or no,
Nope.
wait, there's no Walmart
Nope.
either, right?
They lasted all of a year here, and they
Yeah.
shut it down.
So Toys R Us is still a thing in Canada, which I'm super
That is
jealous
correct.
about. I'll
Yep.
trade you Target and Walmart for Toys R Us. But when you ever notice when you go to Toys R Us, you'll see new waves of stuff in the States. Like you'll see, what's the most recent Build-A-Figure wave of Marvel Legends? It's Totally Awesome Hulk. Totally
Yes.
Awesome Hulk isn't even hitting Target and Walmart yet. I'm seeing it at local shops, like people who distribute through Entertainment Earth, getting it early. But street date for Walmart and Target is October 1 for some reason, and they all go through EE. So I rarely, the only thing I go to Target for is like the Target exclusive WWE Legends figures. That's the only thing I'll go in there for, or like an AEW figure that I want that's exclusive. Like when they did the Bret Hart and the new Adam Cole in red, I bought those. But I don't really go to Walmart often. Like I couldn't even find the animated series Spider-Man when this came out. I had to, Spicy Collectibles, Izzy. So
Yep.
I bought this from Spicy because Spicy had it, and he's in Florida, and everything gets in early. And I said to him, I'm like, Spice Man, I'll give you $20 over retail because A, your gas, B, your time. You know, do me this favor, go grab me one. And he's like, I got you. Like the only thing from Walmart that I've gotten in the last 5 years at point of purchase was the new 60th anniversary Avengers Captain America Bucky Barnes, and that's coming at the end of this month. And Craven. I got lucky on Craven, forgot all about him, and he showed up at my house. I was like, when the fuck did I order this? And I started asking everybody I know, where did you get my address and why did you send me this? And
late night order.
And it's sometimes you forget things like, and the other problem is like you buy from Amazon like a lot, and I buy from Amazon a lot because I work there and I get a discount. But everything comes in early. That's the problem. Like I still haven't picked up the West Coast Avengers set because it was 2 months early. I was like, shit, I got other pre-orders coming out. I can't do this today. But I'll buy from them. And then there's a shop out of California that I really like. I don't know if Rose is watching. She probably is. I sell toys for fun. Great little shop out of Southern California. Amazing husband and wife team. I got my Scarlet Spider Mafex through them. Another incredible team. I've been doing some unboxings with them. I go down to Kojo's Toy World in New Bedford. Another shop, no distribution, just all retro stuff. And it's run by two cousins, Ted and Kojo. And Ted's a very popular professional wrestler from this area. He's been on AEW and WWE, multiple spots. If you watch wrestling, I can like literally name spots that he's been in here. I've been sitting at like 3 rows over from when they happen. It's wild. But I go to them. I'm actually doing a toy hunt there next weekend. And Nick's comic strip. My best friend, Nick, owns a shop up on the North Shore of Massachusetts. Nick's comic strip. Free plug for you, buddy. And I buy a lot from him. Like, yeah, I'm paying over retail, but I know at the end of the day, he's able to put his daughters into karate and dance classes and so forth like that. I don't give a shit. I'll pay $30 a legend just to get it and know I have it and know it hasn't been swapped or it hasn't been, mangled or something like that. And that's regularly who I buy through. I'm not a fan of Target. I find Target to be the most important place in the face of the planet. And the reason I say that is because there have been times where I have walked in and it says there's things in stock and I've literally had to lift every shelf and I've been kicked out for doing this because people will leave shit under the shelves so they can flip it. And I'm like, yo, you got people doing this. What the fuck? It's probably your own staff doing this.
For sure.
I'm not with it. So I would rather pay more to a small business than I would Target. Yeah. And if anybody from Target's watching this, fuck you. Get a new job.
I got nothing to say, Target. I went to Target once and I was like, it's overpriced Walmart, and I walked right the fuck out.
It's like, middle class. It's middle class white people Target. So here in the States, there was like during Pride Month, there was a whole controversy like the South or the Republicans. They all lost their shit because apparently selling merchandise to show your pride in something is wrong. And I guess people who are gay and lesbian apparently molest children, which is the biggest farce in the history of the universe. I mean, for those of you out there watching from New England, I grew up in the Boston Archdiocese. You want to talk about child molesters? Let's talk about child molesters.
Fucking God.
I know I'm just an awful human being. It's
You're
plain and
good.
simple.
I'm just dead. But no, I totally understand like that Target thing with that. In Canada it didn't happen. Nobody complained about it out here, but I sat and I watched it all, right? Like you couldn't escape it. Right.
Well,
So no, I hear
Canada
you
can read. That's the difference.
Well, most of us.
I have a lot of clients in Canada, and when I send an email, it's actually read.
Yeah.
Like I send an email to somebody here in the States, and it's like, you didn't do your job. They took our jobs. Yeah, jobs are being taken away because you don't listen.
That's right. Get your head out your fucking ass, right?
Exactly.
No kidding. Eh? Yeah. Oh, one day I will experience a Target in the United States so that I can say I can confirm or deny your claims.
Come to Boston. We'll go do a toy hunt at a Target.
Do a toy hunt in Boston.
And then I'll take you to some. New England has an amazing scene for comics, toys, everything. There's Kamikaze in Somerville that's really good too. Harrison's Comics in Salem, which city's rad for that. There's one of my favorite shops, Silver City Collectibles. It's this tiny little shop at a mall. And literally, they're just the best fucking people on the face of the planet.
No, usually the smaller shops are.
They're most rock and roll people, and you know, a lot of them, people will just be like, "Hey, can you ship this?" No, but I know somebody who lives here who will ship it for you. And it's if they know me, I'll ship it. You know,
you go from there. Oh, for sure. So you probably ship a lot. Then I guess you're the Larry Bird of collecting, so that must be of hunting as well.
Being the Larry Bird of action figure collecting is a badge of honor. And funny enough, that nickname I didn't come up with that nickname. I got that nickname from Matt Cardona. Matt did a signing at my friend's shop a couple of years ago, or about a year ago actually now. And we were talking collections, and I showed him my collecting, and I was like, "Yeah, you're the Michael Jordan of Larry Bird, the Michael Jordan of action figure collecting or wrestling figure collecting." So what's that make me? He goes, "Man, you must be the Larry Bird of action figure collecting. You're from Boston, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I take that as a badge of honor." Well,
of course.
If Rebecca's watching, we have a saying here in Boston, and this is funny because she laughs every time I say it. If you say Larry Bird's name, you have to finish that sentence with "He's a bad man." You know, and I take that with a badge of honor because Larry Bird is my favorite basketball player of all time.
Nice.
And he is a very bad man. So
I love it.
Four rings and with the greatest basketball team in the history of the universe. So one of the Targets I go to is pretty gross. I bet you could find drugs in there faster than toys. Ooh, I mean, you know,
money to be made.
If there's a Target and like, I don't think Targets go out. See, this is a really funny thing too. You'll notice in Massachusetts when you go out towards Western Massachusetts, Targets are fewer and far between. But when you come out to where I live, Walmarts are few and far between. There's 7 Targets in a 19-mile radius from my house. There's 3 Walmarts, and they're all in low-income areas.
Okay,
so yeah,
gotcha.
as you go out to the western part of the state, there's no Targets. So
that's crazy to see because like I know here they have a lot of Walmarts. There's nothing else. There's no competition with Walmart at all here, right? Because Zellers is gone, Kmart's gone, all that stuff's gone. There's nothing, right? So it's literally just like Walmart is your only one-stop shop retailer out here, right? So like during COVID, that's all you could do was go to Walmart. That's all the only place you're allowed to go to.
Where do you, like if there's Target exclusive, so like the WWE Elite Legends are Target exclusive, where do you get those in Canada? Toys R Us or
I not those specifically, but if I've ever gotten anything that is a Target, I get them at conventions or I'll have like a local shop who has them, you know, because they do a lot of travels to the States too.
Okay.
Right. So or someone if I know if there's someone going over to the States, they're like, hey, can you take a peek and see if you grab this on your travel?
Jaguar was Target exclusive went to Haulathon. This wasn't available at retail during Haulathon in Canada. And because I know NECA does like different stuff with distributors and retailers outside of the states. I go to Toy Fair every year, so I have a little bit more insight than a lot of people on this stuff. And I see a lot of that, but I never figured out how NECA does it. Like I've been meaning to ask Blaine, hey, who does what in outside of the United States? Because you always see stuff like, oh, if you're a Canadian or an international collector, click here. So always wondered about that.
Oh, here. Oh, I'm human. Yeah. So some of the I never find Target stuff at GameStop, but I do
GameStop.
always find like the other exclusives at GameStops here. So yes and no. I guess it just depends where you are, right? Or
GameStop's
maybe I'm
had
too
some
slow,
killer
right?
exclusives too. Yeah, yeah. GameStop's had some great exclusives lately too, may
Oh
I
yeah.
add. So
Yeah, I've kind of stopped. I personally haven't really been going in. It's been a lot more online stuff recently, which is really sad because I'm all about the hunt, but I'm also very busy during the summer, which a lot of us are, right? So, but yeah, GameStop around here, they've actually closed quite a few. So that's been very sad, right? So,
we had one in my
and hope,
town. I miss it every day.
yeah, like we have a few still, but their selections aren't overturned too much, right? Like it's been a couple times I'll go in, I'm like the same stuff is still sitting there.
That's why you got to get
I
an
don't know,
inside guy. That's why I got to get an inside guy at GameStop.
right?
Like I got a guy who texts me every time stuff comes in, like the new Spider-Man retro card figures when they came in. He was like, "Bill, I got them all." I'm like, be there in a minute.
Yeah, I used to have a guy like that once. I remember doing a pre-order. I can't remember. It was like a new series of Pokemon cards came out or something. Like he's like, "Hey, just so you know, this is coming in tomorrow. Do you want me to hold it for you?" I'm like, "I don't think you're allowed to do, but thanks, dude." Right? Like,
Yeah.
awesome, right? But
You
now they don't call
gotta
me.
grease their wheels a little bit. Just throw them some donuts or bring them some
That's it,
coffee.
right? Oh, for sure.
There's ways to do this stuff. You just have to kind of do things as they come to you. And if you have that opportunity, just
Naturally go with the flow of things, right?
grease
Like,
the
no,
wheels,
for
man.
sure. That's right. No, for sure. Oh, we got some Hey Boss.
Hey, Small. Speaking of people, that's my business partner, Smalls.
Nice.
I am
Is
not
that
your
would be
boss, sir.
small
I am your
brand?
equal. Yep, Chris Small. He runs a killer show through our network. He's my co-host on the Brand Show, but also he does a really cool music show called Pressed, Pressd. Music deep dives, discographies, just a lot of interaction. Something we're getting off the ground here now that Unboxed and the Brand Show are stable and moving in the right direction. We added that. We have a bunch of other stuff that we are in the process of facilitating and adding, and just making stuff move in the right direction. Chris is my day-to-day. He literally keeps me sane. I will also say Blonde Smalls is the best Smalls. Change my mind.
Blonde Smalls.
He'll get the joke. John will get the joke too.
Inside joke, so obviously we won't get it, but sure. So, oh Lord, I am just going to share some of your pages because I have quite a few of your pages up right now. So yeah, I'm going to go to your personal page. We're going to start with this one. So
fire away. Wait, hold on. This guy right here, that's the Generalissimo of a bunch of nerds, the Larry Bird of action figure collecting. This dude got some cool shit. I know this guy. Oh, that's me. Wait a minute.
You're like, oh shit.
Hey, if you're watching this, you should be following me because you're going to see some wild shit.
Follow our guest. His name is also scrolling around the bottom of the ticker there.
Just take my name and write brand at the end of it. You'll be good.
Don't type Larry Bird. You probably won't get the same person, sadly. Right? But there you are, everybody.
His mustache is better than mine.
So when I started following you, it was predominantly toy photography is why I believe it was. Yeah. So I know that
some of my new stuff. Pull up that Seth freaking Rollins photo. That's an amazing. I love that photo.
Sorry, I don't know any of their names. So
right there, that first one. So
so I'm just assuming that was Seth.
Yeah, I'll give you a good laugh. I have a second monitor on my desk where my webcam is mounted. I took that photo with that monitor. That's literally just a box on. That's just literally a box on my desk and some figures.
Okay.
And a YouTube video playing.
Yeah.
And that's what. Oh my God! You didn't even like the photo. How dare you?
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I will tell you guys this. The algorithm really does suck because I used to see a lot of people's photos consistently, and now it's like it'll be days after, right?
Let me teach you the greatest thing ever. When you go into your Instagram, what you do, you go to that creator you want, and you all need to know this too. What you do, you go up to the top, you look for that little bell, you tap that bell, and then you can turn on you can turn on what you want to see from that creator. So anytime Mandy posts, I see it. And well, it's on the mobile app, unfortunately.
We gotta go and do that to everybody that we want to see now. That's really
I've done that. I've also put people that I want to see that are into my close friends. So
Gotcha.
like
This is like
I see,
Instagram's changed a lot, eh?
yeah, I see you, I see Figure Kingdom, I see MBG, I see Squirt Circle Photography, Pro Wrestling Social Club, just like the people that I follow, that I talk to on a regular basis, Jay's Figs, Spicy Collects, like all the people that I'm bullshitting with on a day-to-day basis, Jay Vega, et cetera, et cetera. This is a good one. Love this one.
Turtle Tuesday.
I got
So
to
this is
figure out
perfect.
where I put that backdrop though, because that's the backdrop that came with the VHS set, and I
Okay.
misplaced it within my basement somewhere. There's 800 square feet of toys down here, so shit, it's gonna take me a while to find it.
I know. I was just saying how I need to go buy with just accessories alone because I don't store my accessories in my figures because we have little hands here that'll just lose those little tiny pieces. So I have giant totes just full of like little guns and shit like that.
You need to do what we
Yeah.
do. There's these little things, they're color coded from Michaels. They're
I
like
that's what I'm
40
saying. Michael's
bucks.
has like drawer things, like wheelie
Yeah,
colored
but
drawer things. I want to go buy them.
they're little. John, I know you have the link. Throw it in the chat, please, because John's the one who turned me on to these. That's what I do with these. But yeah, this is I love this, and the lighting for this photo was absolutely accidental. You can see how there's kind of that lighting coming off the where it says dock shore. Like it kind of looks like there's lights there. So I use bar lighting from a company called Yalangu. So these are the lights that I use on a regular basis, and the way that they just hit when I fogged them. So I fogged it and they were like this. So the light just started beaming the right way and it just worked out perfectly.
That's pretty cool.
I was shocked because I use atmosphere aerosol. I use a lot of stuff too. A lot of practical effect goes into what makes my photos what they are. Also, if you've seen TMNT2, you know what that shot is. That's the shot from the newspaper, Ninja Rap is Born. I was going to do it in black and white, but this was done. I did this for a colon cancer month. Whatchamacallit? God, my brain is not working today. For a fundraiser. So we did this for the Colon Cancer Foundation. We made 20 of these. 20 of these. What's up, Blitz? No, Blitz Figs.
Yep.
Hey, Blitz, so we did 20 of those. And we put a crazy marginal price tag on them and they all sold.
Nice.
Wild. And I signed all of them in like colorectal cancer ribbon blue and that gold leaf over it. They're really cool. Like they're very hard to find. They're very hard to get your hands on. I will never reprint them either. I printed one for myself. I don't know where I put it, but it's one of those things I'd love to hang up in my house. It's just one of my favorite photos I've ever taken.
Yeah, it is a good photo. I do like it. I'm not a huge on turtles. I used to be. I have tons of turtle shit, but it's a line that kind of overpowering right now. There's too much of it, right? So, but I do appreciate good TMNT artwork and pictures and stuff like that. So.
Adore. Well, if you look down at some of my newer stuff too, I just did a shot. I'm doing some work with what's his name on Instagram. So if you look at that Raphael photo, that's a good one. So I've been working I've been working with a set designer, but Dave Garcia, No More Fun Games. Dave does unbelievable recreations of New York City. And this dio was not cheap. This was like an almost $1,000 dio. And I said to him, I'm like, I want this to look exactly like a dungy, dirty alleyway in New York City during the 80s. Literally give me the behind CBGB's, which is an old punk place that I love. Growing up with punk rock music and stuff like that. I wanted something real dirty, real grungy, something that I could flip multiple ways to make my photos look good and not have to, really do too much work. And we're already working on additions for this thing. Guys, follow No More Fun Games too. Dave's an unbelievable designer. Absolutely insane. Foam Loki, he calls himself. He is the best of the best, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah, those sets are not cheap. My cathedral diorama was actually $500 too. So like, if you want good stuff done by people, like it's going to cost, right?
Yeah,
like
he did all the graffiti on these and everything too.
Right. So yeah, no, I've bought one dio so far, and that was the big spend. But I was like, it was worth it because I've tried dio building. I don't have some of the equipment like the 3D printing for the plastics and the stained glass windows they did on mine and stuff. But if you want, someone's always like, how do we get it cheaper? I'm like, you don't. You're paying for the work. For the best. You want this, right?
Like if when you hire me, you don't pay me $40 an hour. I'm not cheap.
So
my rate, it offends people. It's funny.
Yeah, we won't get in that, but I understand. I do understand where you're coming
You
from,
get it.
being
You
in the
get it.
industry, where right. So
But we've
it's
been
all
doing a
about
lot of
money.
we've been doing a lot of work lately. Super Sevens picked up a lot of our stuff.
Hmm.
We did an unboxing. We've done some unboxings that are featured both by Czarface and by Super Seven. We did the Czarface battle pack. Can actually, and we did that featured with them. We did Scarlet Spider with the guys from I Sell Toys for Fun. Just all different sorts of stuff going on. Like we're starting to get noticed, and that's Plastic Flashback made that. Fun
That's
story
cool.
behind that. Totally was going to buy that from him, and I forgot
Hmm.
all about it because my brain went chemo fog during chemo. And
Nice. Yeah.
he sent it to me as a gift. I was totally shocked. I still have yet to get him back with something surprising and awesome, and I just haven't found anything wild and cool enough to send him yet. But
Hmm.
he's going to get like the biggest thank you in the history of the universe. So
It's always nice when someone sends you something,
man,
right?
I love it. And
Mhm.
I'll tell you a story. I could tell you stories all day, like Toy Boy Federation. I send him random shit all the time.
Mhm.
WWF 2000 tires from the old Jack's line. If you guys got any WWF 2000s tires, get in my DMs, please.
More. Yeah.
We have an inside joke going, Ed and I, about those, and I sent him WWF 2000 tires. He says he's gonna make a diorama out of it someday.
Why not? Right?
But that Jushin Thunder Liger figure, that red and white and gold figure in the background, very rare Storm Collectibles figure. He sent me that as
Oh, really?
a gift, and then next to it is actually one of those Czarface figures. And if you look at my set too, what's really funny is there's a lot of reference to me, my family, my wife, my dog Maggie, my dog
Mhm.
Turbo, just me in general. Like if you notice, there's an alien Maggie pop there.
Yep.
Herbie
First thing my eyes were drawn to.
Yep.
Right?
The Czarface guys are on the set. The Hums is for my wife. And then there's also a little Herbie the Love Bug, which is named Turbo. And he's right there. Yep.
And
And then
Lucy
there's
Van Pelt.
and
Lucy.
there's
Lucy Van Pelt.
yeah. So like Peanuts being a big piece of my life,
Mhm.
big piece of, who I was. And just, I try to give people an understanding of who I am through what I do.
Oh,
And
for sure.
I'm so grateful for that. Like, the response that's come to what I do and what Chris and I have done just as a team, and where we've created and got together, and some of the people we've met. Like, I met my childhood hero, man. I had him on my show. So,
Who was that?
like Townsend Coleman.
Okay, so
He
yeah,
was
I
the
know you
voice
said
of the
yeah.
Tick and the voice of Michelangelo.
Mhm.
And just
I love the Tick. I saw some Tick retro carded toys recently. I
just
love that.
started that collection. I'm like
Nice.
eight figures short, and I have a working giant talking Tick and the steel box.
Nice. I
So
actually thoroughly loved that show as a kid. So like, oh, that's
well,
some memories right there.
that's got some heart to it too, because that's another New England creation. That was
No,
created two
okay.
towns over from where I live, in a town called Brockton, by
Okay.
a very wildly popular local comic shop. New England Comics published it, and I have original art from it. And Galactus, that's a great one. That is So y'all ready? I'm gonna give you one little secret, and I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. The way I created this effect is with a matte filter and a black blanket that is sitting on my coffee table
Okay.
on the other side of the room. But
Gotcha.
that photo didn't get the love it deserves. I'm upset. Like Instagram shadow banned it 3 times
Yep. Yep.
because of the original captions I had with it.
Yeah,
But
no,
that
I
is
really dislike
the favorite.
Instagram, right? Because
Yeah,
like
that
I have a
is.
couple different Instagram accounts, and I'll see
Mhm,
your shit right away on one account, but on like my most main, like this
mhm.
one that I use, it'll be like 3 or 4 days after you
Yeah,
post it. And that goes for everybody, like
just
Unworthy,
turn on
Blitz.
those
All that.
notifications for the
Well,
people
now
you
I
want to
know,
see. Yeah.
right? I gotta start doing all this shit.
I've done that because there are just people that I want to see all the time. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to see dumb shit in my feed. I want to see my friends. I want to see the people
Yep.
I work with.
Yep.
Like John Brown, he is the first person who comes up on my TikTok algorithm because I interact with every one of it. TikTok's a totally different algorithm too.
Go ahead.
The more you interact with someone, you see them more in your friends and your
Yep.
FYP, and it's just worked out so well for me with people that I want to follow there. But I mean, there's so many amazing people in the toy community that I want to follow. Like Cannon Beams makes crazy shit. Super Action Stuff makes crazy shit. Darth Primus, my buddy Tony the Toy Man, he makes great shit too. Like I thought I left it up here. Yeah, I did. So he made me a newspaper dispenser. It says Daily Bugle on it.
I'm
And
gonna
he
put
made
you
this
on
out
the
of resin
screen. I
for me.
want to see that. Like, wait, let me see
I
that.
got you.
Hold on, I'm soloing you. I'm
So my brother Tony
Okay,
made this.
that's cool.
So Tony is like, I don't really know how to describe Tony, but Tony's like my brother and my best friend all in one. And he made this for me with a bunch of other stuff, knowing that I had a dio coming from Dave. And like, it's one of the favorite pieces I have that are in so many of my shots and stuff. And it's one of those things I really just fucking love. And that's part of the fun is like the people you meet through this community are insane.
Oh, for sure. I have some dio pieces too that I absolutely love. However, I'm not going to promo the person that made it because it was a shady deal in how I got it. Right?
Shady deals are great. I love shady deals.
It was and it isn't, but I'm not going to because he is known in the community and I'm not going on the YouTube. Right?
You can tell me later. How about that?
Yeah, I'll tell you later, my homie. Yeah, no, but there's some pieces I want to learn how to do that. I really want to buy a 3D printer myself because I've been researching stuff and looking at like the things I require, and it's something that I might start small and do myself just to build stuff for photos.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Or for accessories, right? So
listen, everybody has a camera, whether you have like whether you
phone
have
or
a makeup like I do with a Sony A7 III, and I'm seeing my people flood in now too.
of
And
course.
you know, like if you're shooting on a professional camera, you're shooting on a camera phone, or you're shooting on a fucking iPad. I don't care what you're shooting on. You can make great stuff
For sure.
with whatever you're doing. And it's not even about the quality of what you're doing. It's about the simple fact that you're out there creating and you're wanting to learn something new. Like people talk about the eye a lot. And yeah, the eye is a big thing in photography. And if you're doing something more intricate, like model photography or something like that, yeah, you need it. Like you need to be able to notice a scar that you need to heal in
Like
Lightroom and
Christine
Photoshop, or you need to create a defined style. But with toy photography, I want it to be as ridiculous as possible. I want to see everything you're doing. I want you to tag me in it so I can see it. And like I tell everybody that, and I will tell you, if you are following me on Instagram or you follow me on Instagram after this, fucking tag me when you post something. Please tag me, at me, do something, because I want to see it. I want to interact with you guys. I want to talk about it. I want to grow, but I'm also having fun. So, you know, like that's what this is about. Right? Yeah. It's like, don't get me wrong. I want this to be my day job, but
of course. And that's the thing. I think we all do, right? We would all love to just stop and do, right? Like in a different, you might just want to be more shows and stuff. Some people want to take photos. You know, I like a little bit of my store, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So
I want to doom scroll you at 3 a.m. and tell you how awesome your shit is. That's really what I want to do. So please fucking blow me up.
How often that sometimes happens. That actually happened to me last night. I was like, shit, you need to go to bed. It's 1 o'clock. Still going.
That happened to me Monday. Sunday night, I couldn't go to sleep because I had surgery Monday. So I had my portacath removed on Monday. And finally, after 3 years of cancer and nonsense remission and all that now, and they were like, you can finally have it out. And I had it out Monday, and I was falling asleep on the operating table because I was up, and the doctor's like, Bill, don't fall asleep. And I'm like, why? And he goes, well, I'm pulling something out of your chest. Don't you want to see it? I'm like, no. I slept like 3 hours, and I didn't get to smoke before I went to bed because I thought you were putting me under, you dick. So,
but
I love doom scrolling Toystagram and so forth like that. And, you know, really kind of seeing what's going on in the toy community at all times. And, you know, being a part of it, like this community kept me sane and going during COVID. Like,
for sure,
man, like I never want anybody to see what I've seen. I went through chemotherapy for the 90 percentile of my treatment alone because of COVID. I couldn't have guests. My wife couldn't come. Nobody could come. My daughter couldn't come. Nothing. I did it alone. So all I had was my iPad and my phone. And, you know, that's when this really started for me. It was Toy Fair 2020. I started getting into toy photography, and it was like, I needed this at that time in my life. And like MBG reached out to me, Figure Kingdom reached out to me. A lot of people reached out to me, and it's like, I found this whole new world within toys. So like, fucking follow me. I'm going to follow you.
Fucking follow them, people.
Just come hang out and nerd out with me. It's fun.
Bree has a damn stroke on the collector section.
Watch the goddamn brand show every other Wednesday. Next show is next Wednesday. Shit.
Damn.
Come hang out. And speaking of which, when are you going to be on the show?
What's that?
When are you going to be on the show?
Whenever you would like to.
All right.
We'll make a date.
I will get Bree to reach out to you, and I'll see what we got for available dates, because we're getting ready to start booking for season 3. Season 2 is we're going in episode 3. We had, the writer's strike kind of fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Like I've lost 3 guests because of it, and thankfully I had backups ready. But we've got a killer rest of the season. I'm really excited about it. We've got Steve Varner coming out in November, which is going to be cool. So we're going to talk toy sculpts, so forth like that. We've got Keefe from Ghost Cult Magazine, so music stuff. We've got Joe St. Pierre. We had Townsend Coleman to start the season. There's just always something going on with us. We don't sleep, plain and simple. We don't fucking sleep.
We don't do it. That is not in our DNA.
The fuck is sleep.
No, I hear you there. Those are my goals. Now that summer is coming to an end, I'm going to focus more on the online stuff and like the channel stuff and reach out to people too. I decided to take this year a little bit of a break myself personally from the cons and everything, just because
don't blame you.
Very busy. School, first year, second year of school for the little guy. I was just getting through that, and so year's already over, summer's already over. So I'm like, let's focus for when we're all locked inside for the winter again, and start all over.
I don't know about Canada, but down here we're never locked in. Like we're out there in shorts.
No, we
on complaining about
here
the weather.
Personally, where I live, there's maybe 2 serious snowfalls a year, but with my massive truck, I'm never really stuck inside. So I never have a real excuse. I just like to use it as
I feel that. No, I feel that. I mean, it doesn't matter time of the year. Like con season here in the States starts in April, goes all the way to November.
Yeah.
So
and it goes fast. And that's what people were like, you haven't gone any. I'm like, well, it's already August 15th, man. I don't even know where the summer went. Because you work every day, you just kind of
my record once it started with C2E2 in April. I went to C2E2. This was 2019. I went to C2E2, came home, was home for 3 days, went to another show, came home, flew out for a work thing, came home, flew to Vegas for another work thing, came home, flew to Nashville for a work thing, went to Nashville Comic-Con and GameStop Managers Conference, came home, went to Fan Expo Boston, came home, went to Terrificon, came home, went to a horror show, came home, went to the next weekend I went to Mad Monster or whatever it is down in Jersey, came home, New York Comic-Con, came home, ended with Rhode Island Comic-Con. I was on the road for almost 93 days.
Yeah.
at one point, and it was like, okay, I need to go home for at least a day or two. But, none of that anymore.
Yeah, our con circuit isn't that crazy. Not around here. Like, obviously, you go to province. It's probably different. But
or
here,
you go to Fan Expo Canada.
I go to Fan Expo. I usually go. This year, I'm skipping out just because last year when they reopened it, I thought it was the worst mistake that they could have. Like, it was poorly managed in regards to capacity, right? Especially just lifting COVID restrictions and mask restrictions. And hey, I don't give a shit if you are vaxxed or unvaxxed. So I was like, there's way too many people in that building, right?
Bro,
so
I gotta be like, you don't want to go through what I went through and get sick.
No.
It's
No,
not fun.
And I've never had it, so I can't say anything. But I do know people who were in a coma from COVID. So right,
you're in the 1% who still hasn't had COVID. Like, I was there.
I may have, but if I did, I've had some colds over the past couple of years. I never used to get sick until we were masking up and stuff. So I've had a couple colds, but nothing that I thought was out of the ordinary. So I could have, but asymptomatic. Right?
Yeah,
so.
I had one bout with COVID and it was pretty mild, but I don't want to fucking do that again.
No. And I don't want to wish that on anybody because obviously it affects everybody differently, right? So
yeah.
And I've seen it. So no, that's cool. I one day my goal is to get to some Comic-Cons in the States. I would love to go to SDCC, obviously, NYCC, so New York. The big ones, right? Here there's nothing. You got like Fan Expo, you got like a couple like Comic-Cons in Niagara Falls, Hamilton, Toronto, yada yada yada. But everything else
is shows have some of the best guests.
They do.
The small shows have the best toy hunts. Like Fan Expo, I bought one figure. I bought Karnak from the new Totally Awesome Hulkwave because I couldn't find him anywhere, and I paid double what his price was. Because the only booth selling toys there was Chaos Comics, and that was it. It was rough, but no, I went for art and other stuff. Like, you're a Michael Myers fan. I got to give a shout out to my buddy Steve Messenger.
Nice.
Picked that up while I was
there. I got a poster right behind me too.
See, I don't need all that. I wear the man on my wrong arm. I wear the man on my arm. So
nice.
It's one of those things. Like, I was there more for art. I was there to see friends, talk to guests, canvas for my show, see Garrett Hedlund from Tron Legacy, etc.
That's usually how it goes. I know, like, even for I get invited to a lot of the smaller cons as their guest. This year I turned down a couple because I'm just like, guys, I'm too busy. It's not like I'm busy. We're busy. We're busy this year, right? But even with Fan Expo, which is massive, when I went there, it was the same thing. Like, I went in cosplay, so it was more like to meet the other cosplayers, take pictures with kids. Like, I had people stopping me as Snow White, just take pictures with their children,
Nice.
right? Like, and that's what it was for me about. But then when I started like shopping, I was buying stuff from local vendors here that I go and buy stuff all the time from when I went there. So like, I'm literally just giving you double the money when I could have walked 5 minutes down the street to your store. So, but I respect them, right? Because they buy off of me when they can too, right? So it's kind of like fair, you know, game there, right?
Yeah,
Common
makes
courtesy
sense. Makes
within the
sense.
company. So no, I do love those conventions, but sadly they've been very few and in between this year. I don't think I'll attend any, although there is a toy show coming up this weekend in my town. I'm probably going to hit it up just so I can say I've gone to one toy show this year.
Yeah, I've got Nick's comic strip is doing a show in October. I'm trying to go to New York Comic Con. Fabrice Sapolsky, who co-created Spider-Man Noir, is a dear friend of ours, and he's going to be there. And he's up my ass about going. And then I'm 99% sure I'm going to be at Toy Fair for at least a day. Toy Fair is, you know, if you're a toy influencer, if you're a toy anything, if you're in the toy industry and you have access to Toy Fair, it's one of those things you want to go to.
Yeah, of course.
And you really want to, you know, just you want to be in the room talking to guys like Brian Flynn, talking to guys like Todd McFarlane, you know, talking to the higher ups at Hasbro and kind of getting your name out there. May not result in you getting figures that like year, but like they're going to know who you are. And, you know, I mean, the amount of work that gets put into what I do just to do toy unboxings and stuff, like my guys tell me all the time, I'm the face of this brand. So like, I need to be, you know, accessible at all times. I barely sleep, and I'm working on 17 different things at once, like while I'm working. And it's, you know, it's never one thing. Like, we got in the studio on Sundays. I start filming at 8:30 in the morning and I don't get done until almost midnight. I dare anybody in the toy industry to outwork me. So just saying, like, it's that important. It's that important to give a quality product to our followers, to our community. It's that important to me that we present the right way and that we have opportunities to do so. Like I told you before we got on the air, I've been up since 6:30. You know, I just got out of work, and, you know, I would rather be doing this than sleeping.
No,
so some things are more important to me, and this brand is that important to me that I one day want to look at my job and be like, hey, it's been a blast being here. Thank you for everything, but I'm opening my own business.
I'm out. See ya. Right?
If it falls apart, I'll be back.
Yep.
But,
no, and that's a good goal, right? So
yeah,
that's especially that's a kind of mind
too. Very proud of it too.
I'm taking this a little more serious. Like, I obviously had Doodle's Toy Report before, as I discussed with you earlier, but it was more for my son. Yeah, but I have actually deleted that entirely. That is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Well, it does exist, but it doesn't at the same time.
Well, the internet, everybody's creepy about everything.
Yeah, right.
That's
so
the problem.
We're using the collector sector. We get to meet more people. So we're going to end up taking some segments from YouTube and incorporating with our new website. I have a website for the collector sector coming up with a shop as well. And then we're going to be doing the vlog on there as well. So it's going to be
shipping to the States. Wink, wink.
I am shipping to the States. I am indeed, actually.
Let's go.
So I have started configuring shipping prices and how I can get discounts to people in the States and, of course, international. So because I know it's very expensive to ship in between just our countries. Like, I literally live half an hour away from New York, or like Buffalo. Sorry, I guess Buffalo's in New York, and yet it cost me $30. Yeah, like it cost me $30 just to send you.
Well, you have to clear customs and you have to do everything.
Right. So it's
like, come on, man. Like, I'll meet you at the border. Throw it just put it in a barrel and let it go down the falls.
Right. But it's crazy. But like, so I am working on a way with the collector sector to do that, because obviously what I want to eventually have is even do consignments for people. Like, if I have someone else who doesn't want to pay to have their own website, hey, give it to me. I'll put it up here. I'll take a 2% cut. Something like that.
You don't. First of all, you never take 2%. You take 20.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
But you know, like, consignment is huge, especially with some of the things you're seeing. And I think everybody in the chat will agree with this one. Since COVID, like, prices have surged. Like, nostalgia is really, like, don't get me wrong. We're a society that romanticizes nostalgia humongously. I mean, collecting to me never really made sense until I started.
Yep.
I started in 2013, and the first figure I ever bought was the Rhino Build-A-Figure Wave Scarlet Spider. Favorite figure
Yep.
of all time. Rest in peace, Tom Lyle. Dear friend of mine created that character. And it's an obsession of mine ever since I was a kid. Before we were on, I was literally fucking just going back reading Scarlet Spider on Marvel Unlimited, just out of pure nostalgia, thinking about the character. But toys and nostalgia have become a huge thing these last few years, and people just wanting to recapture that childhood. They told us, you have to grow up. I remember my mom taking my WWF Hasbro figures, and I had them in this purple and green bag from Burger King. I'll never forget it. And I remember waking up one morning and finding them in the trash. And my mother and I don't now this is an interesting story. My mother and I don't speak anymore. But she was here about 6-8 months ago before all this happened, and there was an appraiser here appraising my collection, and the appraiser gave me the number on my collection, and her jaw dropped, and she goes, "Did you spend that much?" And I was like, "No, but if you would let me keep my toys from childhood, it would have been a different story."
More, right?
And she goes, well, how did you buy this house? And I'm like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
Yeah. Right.
And she didn't believe me. And I showed her I showed her the grading, I showed her the appraisal, and I showed her the point of sale on the book, because I had a second print of TMNT 2 and I had a third print of TMNT 1, excuse me, not 2. And what I paid for them compared to what I sold them at, astronomically different. Like, let's just say I bought my wife a Peloton with my third print, and still had a shit ton of money to blow afterwards. Like, when I say a shit ton, I mean 5 figures.
Yeah, gotcha.
She never understood it.
Even now, like, try to explain to my own mother to this day, like, she's like, "What's with these toys?" I'm like, if I had a appraiser, it'd be pretty big too. Like, it'd be a big number. I might not have like craze, but I have a lot, right? That people don't see. Like, I don't have statues and shit, right? Like, a lot of people have higher ed, but like, it's not cheap either. But now I got her in the mindset. Now she goes out and she's like, "Oh, I just found a Lego set for $2. I could flip that, or it's worth this," or right. So I was like, "Oh, I'm glad that she's starting to see this, where it's a different route from your mom," right? I'm like, "Oh,
no, my mom never understood it." And my collection isn't the most expensive thing in the universe. Like, there are people who have more expensive collections than me, but
of course.
I also there are people who only collect one thing. I collect Motu, I collect Toxic Crusaders, I collect wrestling, I collect
it's very variety, like
Marvel Legends.
Right?
Yeah, but I have stuff that people like walk in this room and they're like, "Dude, what is it going to take to get that off your hands?" I'm like, "No, not happening." Like, I have a complete original restored Dragon Blaster Skeletor. That's a very rare thing to have, with the chain and the lock.
Yep,
literally right over my. What shoulder is this? It's
which shoulder? I don't know. I was like, "Where am I?"
Yeah, but it's like it was a grail of sorts when we were kids. It's not the most expensive figure, but to find one that has the lock and the armband with the chain is very, very hard to find. And it's
for sure.
For me, it's not about value. I never did it for value. I did it because I'm a historian. Like, you want to cut to the core of me. I'm a toy historian. And that's really what it is. And I want this collection to end up in the Strong Museum someday in Albany. So.
Yeah, mine won't end up in a museum, but at least I know it'll pay for someone's college if the time ever came down to it, at least, right? So that's the main goal. Is when my son turns 18, he's only 6 now, is I'm actually relinquishing whatever we have, and it's his, right? So if he wants to sell it, if he wants to keep it, if he wants to keep building it, that's up to him. But until now, I'll keep it in whatever condition and add on to it. And you know what I mean? Like, I have my grails too. Some of my grails are some of your grails. So I saw the metalhead. I actually have that too. The OG one. I have it up there. Right?
So you saw the video. Let me ask you a question. What is different about my mint on card metalhead than the original release? I'll grab it. Hang on.
Oh yeah. I was like, I saw the video very briefly in passing. So don't get me to remember it. What is the difference? Where is the page? Oh, there it is. I'm like, where? Let me find it. I'll tell you.
All right. How about this? I'll do you one better.
Okay.
I'll do you one better. Somebody. All right, chat. Somebody wants to tell me what the difference about this figure is compared. There's 2 versions of Metalhead. I'll give you that much.
Okay, we're going full screen.
If someone wants to tell me what's different about this figure, I'll throw a contest on the Unbox channel on Friday.
Okay. All right, I got a glare, so I can't see him. But
wait, hold on. Let's try something here.
Yeah, I was like, I see glare, but I can't see him.
What's different about him?
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me grab mine just so I can see.
Is yours mint on card?
Mine's open. Mine's
There's
played.
something different about this from the original on card release.
Oh, on the card. So it's the card then, I'm sure. Right?
It's something with the card.
Yes. So that's I was like, not the figure. So I'm like, I have it in my hand.
Smalls, it does count if you answer. I know he knows the answer and he just wants to throw a contest. So fire away, Smalls.
Yeah, I can't remember the card, so I'm not gonna lie.
So I'll tell you the story in a second. Let's see what Smalls says. But yes, it does count if you answer.
Somebody has to answer. We must know. Right?
But I bought this figure a very long time ago. I've not even seen one of this on eBay.
No, you don't see them very often. Right? Like, no, even
what's special about this? It is not a different shade of green.
Oh.
So I'm gonna tell you what it is. I want you to look right there. Wait.
Where it says the mutant display. Hey kids, pop-up mutant display.
This is a pop-up variant metalhead. They are very few and far between. So there's re-releases of the figures.
Okay, yeah.
They did it with Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, Krang, and I think Rat King. There's a pop-up display. That little yellow piece right behind it. You can kind of see it.
Okay. I see. Yeah, mine didn't have that.
Only one person was able to answer that today, and that was Dimension X Toys.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I can honestly say I didn't have that. This did not come with that.
He's the goat of Ninja Turtle figures. I have this, and I have Warrior Michelangelo, which is amazing too. I just absolutely love Metalhead, and anything I can get my hands on Metalhead. Slide in my DMs if you got Metalheads, I'll take them.
Yeah, actually, I will say I have Metalheads going on here too. I was like, I really just like the look of the character overall. It doesn't matter if it's toon version, right? Movie.
No, I don't care what version it is. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping he's in the new Mutant Mayhem series that they're doing, and I love Metalhead. He's like,
have you seen the new movie?
Of course, I saw it 3 days before it came out.
I haven't seen it, so my son wants to see it. Well, in all fairness, I'm not a movie theater person, so I don't like crowds of people, right? So especially in the dark.
Tuesday, it's Tuesday.
Right?
Just go for the matinee.
The thing for me is my son wants to see it, and he's never been to a movie theater, and I don't know how his reaction because he's autistic.
Yeah, that could be
right.
We've talked about this. Yeah, sensory. Right? That could be sensory overload.
Yeah, that's where I'm worried about. Or I would totally be. So we usually wait till it comes like Amazon Prime, or we'll buy it on the PlayStation Network. But like we haven't done it yet. But everyone keeps telling me it's actually pretty good. So
we have we proudly employ folks of all walks of life, and few folks on our staff are autistic, so we know it very well.
Oh, they're brilliant people, right? So
the best on the face of the planet. We don't care, man. We love everybody. We want, gay, trans, black, white, autistic, disabled, cancer survivors, you name it.
Who we don't love though? Scalpers.
Scalpers.
And racist. Yeah, but that too.
Douchebags, flippers. Yeah, we don't like scalpers though.
There's some people we don't, right?
Yeah, but like we love all people, and we let our nerd flag fly with the world, and that's I think that's something very special about our brand too, is that everybody is welcome. The whole additive of a bunch of nerds is we are a bunch of nerds because you are a bunch of nerds. The Metallica theory, if you take my meaning. You're Metallica because you are Metallica. So, and we're proud of that. But yeah, fuck scalpers. If any of you out there fucking scalp, don't let me catch you in the streets.
That's right. Or KFC, bitches. Or KFC.
Right? We already talked about KFC, man. Or KFC. We're going to hold hands and skip down the street. It's going to be great.
That's right. Yeah, no, I got a lot of response. That was my most viewed story in the 3 years of Instagram. You don't even want to know. I had like 1,000. I've never had 1,000 views of my story, people. But that was the most viewed and commented thing this year. So I'll see y'all at KFC later. Let's fucking go. Yeah, no, I love it.
A 3-piece.
Right, like just fucking bucket of chicken, right? Yeah, no, I love it. No, I appreciate your brand, and I see that you put a lot of effort into it. Obviously, as someone who has followed you, right? So, it's very rewarding when things happen when you have put that much effort. Like I obviously have a different way of yours. Yours
You're
is more of
grinding.
like, right?
You're grinding.
But yeah, no, I loved it when people were like, I've had companies send me toys, right? Just to do like a
haven't
quick
had that
ad,
yet.
right? And I've never, well, it's only been a couple, but
hey, two more
right?
than me. That's a win.
Right.
Look,
But like, it was just me.
I
Go
remember when you
ahead.
got that extra 23K. I remember when you were at like 5K and all of a sudden you just started to blow up. So
I know. It's
crazy. It takes
crazy.
one post.
No, and it's also, there's a lot of bots nowadays on Instagram apparently too. Because
shout out to the sex bots.
I know, fucking sex box everywhere. I'm like, girl, I don't need to see your titties. I got my own to look at, right? Like, come on, right? Like that's all it is nowadays. But no, because I was putting effort into it. I've had Instagram personally since 2011. And it was my own personal shit, pictures of our food, the standard shit we were all doing when Instagram first came out. Food, your dog, your cat, the sky. And then I just deleted it all. And slowly, what I think happened is when I started putting a face to it. Obviously, because I wasn't just putting a face to it, but, you know, I started interacting with people more instead of just posting and ghosting, right? Because I was all about that post and ghost. Post, see you the fuck later. Don't care who comments. Don't care how many likes I get. Right. And then things started happening. But now I'm like, it's almost overwhelming, right? Because you never know why. Like for me, I'm like, why is all of a sudden this many people just start following me? What video brought in? Was it a picture? Was it with this? Right. It's the unknowing. And then those unknowing people that you might get sometimes, which I've had that experience through Instagram as well, sadly. But no, it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah.
And those who have sent me toys, thank you.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like some of the people I've met, like wrestlers, influencers, you know, like the guys from fucking Czarface follow me. It's so weird to me. Like, and they're in my DMs talking about shit. Like Thunder Rosa from AEW is in my DMs talking about toys. It's just weird. The people I've met via social media and like, you know, through my journey with cancer, like Kevin Monroe, who did the 2007 TMNT movie. Like we talk every day. We literally talk every day. And it's wild to think that someone who created things that I love knows my name. You know,
for sure.
When JDF was alive, like every time I ran into him, knowing he knew who I was, that was my fucking hero. Green Ranger was my guy. Green Ranger was my guy. Townsend Coleman was my guy. You know, Michelangelo was my favorite. Like knowing that they know who I am and they acknowledge my existence, it's like,
I know.
It's like, what did I do for this? What did I do?
Yeah, it's not in your sense, but yeah, I feel the same way. Like I have an email and I get like a lot of emails. Hell, do you want to do this? Can you do this? I'm like, well, it's not really within my schedule right now. Right. But even for them to just know enough to ask, it just made it like, damn, how do you even know of me? Like the same idea. Right. It's like,
it's wild, man.
It's very wild.
Cool,
so I'll shout out to Migo though, because I do love they sent me a huge package. Migo sent me a whole bunch of their retro carded figures.
And well, we have a saying here at a bunch of nerds, fuck Marty Abrams.
Yeah. Well, Marty.
If you watch early episodes of Unboxed, like it's a running inside joke. I love Migo.
Yeah.
I fucking love Migo.
That's okay.
But fuck Marty Abrams, man. He fucked it all up. Migo could have been the biggest toy company in the world. So could have Kenner. But Marty fucking Abrams.
No, I know. I do appreciate it still, though. They were nice enough to send me all the Universal Monster ones. So
their shit is rad.
Right?
Like Migo, if you're watching, send me shit. I'm not as pretty, but you know.
Maybe send him like a donkey or something. Like you guys gotta make one. Send him that.
Let's go.
Right? No, they sent me the Universal Monsters, like the Creature, a couple of those, Frankenstein, Bride Frankenstein. So like, I love those things, right? Like that's because it's what I grew up with, right? It's the stuff I remember growing up. So that's why I'm like, oh, I love that shit because it's very nostalgic, as you're saying. Right? Literally the kind of
huge nostalgia guy. It's just, you know what? If I had more room, I'd probably collect horror too, but
yeah, it's tough. That one's a tough raid to get into.
Yeah, there's so much Halloween shit that I had that I wanted to open, like the soft goods Halloween 2 Donald Pleasance. Oh.
Yep. I know.
I see him right there. Great
I have both of them right there. Yeah.
Shit. And I might just have to take a ride to the local Target and see if they have them now tomorrow.
No, he's cool. I mean, the only one I don't like out of that Halloween is I don't like the Lori, like the one where she's
Ultimate.
The
Crazy Grandma Lori? Oh no.
Yeah,
don't tell me that.
I don't like the face. Like it's just weird.
Well, Jamie Lee Curtis at that age was.
That's true. I
She
think it's
was
more the
kinda
dynamics.
She was
Yeah.
young. She looked 15 at 25.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a deep connection to that movie. Like I have a deep connection to Jersey punk, Jersey horror. My
Mhm.
family's all from Jersey on one side, and my dad roadied for the Misfits, and went to high school with Deborah Hill. My dad's from Haddonfield, so if that
I
tells you
would love to
anything.
be there. Like, I'm from Haddonfield.
Never met him, but I know he's from Haddonfield because that's where most of my family is. So it's
Yeah,
wild.
Halloween was my very first horror movie I watched when I was 4 years old. My mom always tells me every time she sees, she's like, when you were younger, a guy dressed up as Michael Myers walked by with a butcher knife in, and all you're just like, there he goes, right? Just like entranced with the guy, right? And like, there he is. So no, he's a huge. Obviously, the top three: Jason, Freddy, Michael. Everybody is a staple for everybody.
It's Michael and everybody else.
Yeah,
really
that's
what it is. But
right.
but you're disrespecting the Rockabilly Drilla Killer from Slumber Party Massacre 2.
I wasn't saying they were all the best.
How dare you? See, with horror, I collect horror DVDs. That's like I have the original producer's cut of Halloween 6 on Blu-ray from the short one that they did of that. Yeah. I have the originals of Slumber Party Massacre, Black Christmas, all that like 70s, 80s horror.
Yeah.
Like, dude, tits and gore. It's like,
I know.
Don't get me wrong. I love the new shit. Like elevated horror is interesting. Like the new Candyman really put home a social impact point, which was a really interesting story.
Yep.
But like, there is
kind of long though.
Dude, it was amazing. I
fucking it was good. I've seen it too. So
love that movie. But yeah, I'm a fan of take me in the cabin and fuck me while we do cocaine. I love that shit. I don't know why. It's weird and it's funny.
I know. I don't even know the movie, but it's not even a horror movie. It's more of a snuff film, right? But like
Last House on the Left.
And I think it's called Mother's Day.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, I know. That was the one.
That movie made Last House. That movie made Last House look like a fucking walk in the park. And
I know.
And Last House was Cunningham and Craven's first movie, and there's the whole rape scene in the woods, and it's just uncomfortable. And 3 days of a girl being beaten, abused, and raped.
Yeah.
That's just super fucking uncomfortable in general, and not something I want to watch. Because
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Well,
they were Cannibal Holocaust, right?
Cannibal
like these were movies I wasn't expecting to be scary because they're not. But I'm like, ooh.
No, that was a little out there. Like, just even to go back to it, Slumber Party Massacre is a little out there because it really deals with trauma before trauma was actually a really known thing in movies and such like that. And it's Black Phone too. Black Phone. It's a newer movie, but same kind of deal.
No, I hear that. I watch those movies all day. I know. My favorite B movie is
Horror Sector.
Sleepaway Camp. I think they should
my friend Felissa.
It. Yeah, I love that movie.
Well, if you pull up our YouTube channel, Felissa Esposito is a very, very, very good friend of mine.
Oh yeah, I did see that there before.
I met her through Dog Rescue. There's an interview pre a bunch of nerds that I did with her. We were sitting down talking. She produced the Slayer Repentless video. She talked about Sleepaway Camp. She talked about
love that tip, man.
She talked about all of the projects she's working on. Man, she is the fucking bomb. She is just one of those people like you just want to fucking hang out with. Like I used to know Christina Klebe, who was Lydia Van Der Klock in Zombies Halloween, and I went to a party with her, Scout Taylor Compton, Danielle Harris, and PJ Souls, and fucking all of a sudden just Felissa comes up. We all start talking about her, and then she walks in the room and goes, "Why is everybody fucking talking about me?" I was like, "Hi." It was a good time, but it was that same weekend, and like the horror community, like the toy community, is really fucking small. A lot of cool fucking people. A lot of fucking cool people.
Yeah. I will say, and I do love the people who have the mix of the horror toys. Right? Like,
Yeah,
that's like, there's some creepy shit out there. I just saw someone actually made a custom of Angela from Sleepaway Camp where her penis is showing and all that stuff. And I'm like,
what
this
an
is
ending that
amazing.
was. Yeah, that
I
was
need
a
that.
wild ending. Y'all, if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, I'm actually going to look at the camera for this one because I never look at the camera.
Yes.
Y'all need to go and watch that movie. It is a timeless classic. Felicity Esposito is amazing in it. I can't sit here enough and gush about horror movies, you know, but I'll save that for another show. Like when you open up a horror show.
We'll do a horror theme one where we'll bring all of our horror related fanatics on together. How about that?
Let's do it. I'm
have
there.
A whole horror panel.
just reach out to my assistant. I'm there. I'm fucking there. Yeah, I have somebody booking me now too. That's how busy I am.
I actually thought about doing a virtual assistant, but then I'm like, you know what? I feel like they're only going to get paid like 3 cents a post because they're probably in Guatemala somewhere. So
we send our guys toys and movies and video games and stuff. Cool. We're like, look, we can't pay. Like my Smalls yesterday sent my assistant Baldur's Gate 3 because we were making a conversation about it, and she's been literally doing more than just handling me. And like my executive producer does a lot. So, you know, every now and again, Amazon shows up at his house with shit he didn't order. So
of course. You gotta show your gratitude somehow. That's for sure.
We try to. We try to do what we can for our people, and we try to, you know, let them know that they're appreciated and that we care, you know, because a bunch of nerds is not a one-man operation by any fucking means. I couldn't do this by myself. This would be me by like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Just like
no, but the team around me is, and I will say this about a bunch of nerds, my team is world class, and you can't change my mind.
You can try, but you won't. I just seen that meme with the guy at the table when you said that. Like, you've seen that meme, right? Change my mind.
Change my mind. That'll be me.
Change my mind. I love it. Anything exciting that you want to plug that's coming up? I know you had a bunch of stuff that you are starting.
Yeah.
Because I know we're roughly over the hour, so I don't want to keep you too long. So I know you had a hard day.
We always go over. It's kind of our thing. We never start on time.
It's all good.
There's always technical difficulties.
Of course. No technical difficulties this time, though, dude.
Yeah, technical difficulties are our, ask Chris, they're our MO on the Brand Show. For those of you who decided to follow me during this episode, I run a show called The Brand Show over on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Brand Show Live, along with Chris Small Brand. We talk to pop culture guests, music guests, horror guests, guests of guests, porn stars. We'll talk to fucking anybody. We're basically the budget version of Theo Vaughn's About Last Weekend. We just want to bring someone in and have a conversation about who they are and, you know, discuss things and just really geek out. And I mean, that's the idea of a bunch of nerds. Our next guest, for those of you who are comic collectors, is Joe St. Pierre. He was the artist who did Venom, Tooth, and Claw. He is also the record holder for the most Spider-Man #1 covers. Really cool guy. Does a book called Zodiacs. Really, really fun conversation coming up. If you want to watch our old episodes, youtube.com/abunchofnerds. Check us out on YouTube. You can follow us on TikTok at ABON Unboxed, no E in Unboxed, and ABON Pressed, no E in Pressed. Talk about music, talk about toys. And I don't know. Do we have anything else I can really like plug? Smalls, am I allowed to break NDAs if you're still in here? Because I'll break an NDA right now.
We're disclosing everything to everybody.
No, like we legitimately run this like a real business. We have NDAs and fucking NDAs and everything. It's fucking wild what we do on.
No, that's great. I don't have that ambition. I'm also just a one person. I'm like, who am I going to tell myself? Right? Right. So no, I get that. Right.
Yeah.
Totally get that.
As long as Smalls lets me break this NDA, I'll break this NDA.
You're like, it's done. It's over.
Yeah, I want to clarify before I open my mouth because what I'm going to talk about is very nice and very evil.
So and very evil. Okay. Like
you might actually get the reference if you're a wrestling fan, you'll understand what I just said.
Okay.
But
I'm not. I mean, it's not that I'm not. It's just I was an old school.
All right. So we're really excited, but we have been working on bringing in AEW superstar Danhausen for an episode. So we are in active conversation with Danhausen to come in for an episode, which he's an avid toy collector, probably the biggest thing in wrestling right now. And just trying to get him booked has been so difficult. We've been talking to him since last September. We're working on it though. I've literally gone to the point where I'm like, dude, I will pay you to show up. But come on for an hour. I'll give you $100.
Yeah, really,
But
man.
yeah, and you know, people love Danhausen. We've been working on that real hard. Lining up his schedule is impossible though.
Of course, right? No, and that's the thing with people is scheduling. Like even I've had retailers reach out that I want to bring on my show, and they're like, "Yeah, absolutely," but it's all about schedules, right? So.
Yeah. Also, guys, special start time for the next episode of the Brand Show. We go live at 7 p.m. on Twitch Eastern Time this coming next Wednesday, not tomorrow. Next Wednesday. Tomorrow night we might be doing an episode of the Brand Show Plays, and Smalls and I will be playing Fortnite. So
yeah, I really got to get back on Twitch. I love video games, but I haven't played. I play in the winter, obviously. Winter, a lot of stuff happens inside. We all know that, right? But I play a lot of. I'm still stuck on Dead by Daylight. I'm sorry. I love that game. I just love.
I really just want to go and play as Michael. I've been seeing everything. Like people like, oh, there's like you don't get but one bullet, and he's chasing you around the house, and you got to turn the electricity back on, and I have it downloaded on my PS5 and my PC. I haven't played it.
No, yeah, I see you on PlayStation a bit. We're PlayStation Network friends, so I see you on there sometimes, and I'm like, I wonder what he's playing today. I'm like, I don't have that game.
Yeah, most times, what have I been playing lately? I've been, I just downloaded Iron Forge, I think is what it's called. I want to play that. I've been playing Shredder's Revenge a lot, and what else have I been playing? I've been playing the Street Fighter collections, and yeah, that's really where I'm at.
Yeah, I really want to get Street Fighter again. Street Fighter, I love it.
Oh man, I'll throw down the Street Fighter. I'm terrible, but I'll play.
Do you know what I wish they would remake? Or I don't even know if we can get it, but because they have Twisted Metal coming out.
Yeah, the show is amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, I want a remake of that game, or them to make it for the system so that we can play it. I love that video game, and that with the show too now, right? Like my son's been begging for it too. I'm like, dude, you don't even know, right? Like,
yeah, it's pretty rad. I've been playing the original Twisted Metal again too, so.
Oh, I'm sure they have it. I'm sure I can find it, right? For the formats, right? I don't know how it goes anymore. I stopped playing video games. I usually just download them from the PlayStation Store now because I just have digital copies instead of having the discs nowadays. So I'm like, I don't know. Twisted Metal. A bunch of nerds. I was just looking at that page. I guess I haven't seen it in a while. So we got some TMNT. You are a predominantly Ninja Turtle fan, I think. Or wrestling. Would you say wrestling trumps, or are they both the same? Because I see a lot of wrestling and TMNT, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it really it really depends on the day. Sorry, my daughter's asking me something.
No, it's
her cat has fleas again.
Don't you worry about that, man. I'm just looking at toys, so I was like, wrestling.
It's I have almost 500 WWE Elite and Ultimate figures, including every San Diego Comic-Con exclusive except for one. I have a complete run of WWF Hasbro -2 mail-aways. I have the original WCW Galoob line. I'm working on the European line right now. I would say though, like if it's really a knockdown drag-out fight between Motu, TMNT, and wrestling. Marvel Legends is slowly taking over the world though in here.
Yeah, that's here.
God help my wife. God help my wife. Poor woman. Thought she was gonna shoot me.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm going to be buying a house soon, and I was like, we're going to need an additional room on top of the additional room now because the Marvel Legends in itself are going to need a room, and now my kid has started collecting Lego sets, so now that's become an issue. So we are literally running out of room in the house.
I'm glad I'm not into Legos.
Yeah, it's been insane. But he's into Minecraft Lego, so I'm like, can you at least get like cool Lego, like Star Wars and stuff like that, where I can have fun building? But yeah, it's become. There's at least 3 new kits a day we're building, and I'm like, I'm about to build a big Disney up house soon. We'll see, but
bro, a friend of mine just bought the Titanic set.
I know, I want it,
and they paid what I paid for a Hasbro 1-2-3 kit for that set, and I was like, damn, I didn't know Legos were that much.
Yep, the Disney Castle I'm going to be buying is $520. It's like 4,000 pieces.
Bro,
like
you better like start working Lyft or DoorDash or something. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty big though, right? That's what I want. Like I said, if I'm going to be buying Lego, I want it to be pieces that are not going to be taken apart. and that can just go on display and never move again. Right. So it's one of those things where my son wants to collect wrestling or Lego. I let him go with Lego because wrestling is too far. Like we have some LJNs here and a couple AE figures, AEW, I think it's called.
Yep,
but
AEW.
like, yeah, I was like, as I'm looking at like the package right there.
Yeah, the Walmart clearance aisle, right?
The $3 Walmart clearance, everybody.
Never saw those in store. I saw those
Really?
through Ringside. By the way, if you guys shop at Ringside Collectibles, use code the brand, save 10%.
There you go, save money. Yeah, no, I've seen them around since they've been around for a year. They had like a barrel one and stuff like that as well, but they were like $25. I was like, I'm not buying. I can make a barrel, I can make a paddle, whatever the stuff was, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like $3. I buy every single one on the shelf because it's like you can have one, you can have.
Well,
one.
yeah, those are from like 5 years ago. That's why.
Yeah, right. So, but
Yeah,
they were only here this year. That's why I was like, wow. These didn't last very long, right?
They were Ringside exclusive for a long time too.
Oh, were they? Yeah. See, I don't know much about. I'm trying to learn more about wrestling stuff because my son is into wrestling, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm Bret Hart, Hulk, all that stuff. We could talk about that, but any newbie, I'm like, no. I mean, the only one is Ethan Page because he's from my city. That's an SV, and we watch him all the time on YouTube.
Oh,
yeah,
Julian's amazing. I would kill to have him on my pod too. Just because not even because of, I love him as a wrestler. I loved him when he was in Impact with the North. You know, and I love what they haven't utilized him correctly in AEW. If you ask me, I hope he goes to WWE eventually. But, you know, I think he's one of the more fun guys on YouTube to watch. I love watching his stuff. I really do. My favorite part of his shows is when Nyla Rose shows up. I don't know. I know you probably know who Nyla Rose is. Poor girl gets a lot of heat just for being transgender, which is unfair. She's wildly funny. I love her when she's like, I'm not buying anything. And then you see her 10 seconds later and she's buying everything. she just makes me smile so hard. Like she's just so funny. And she's so enthused. Like, I love the enthusiasm that she brings. And then Charlie too, from the production team. He's always looking for the Desert Storm cards. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually ran into a pack of Desert Storm cards not too long ago at the antique mall. I was like, whoa!
How much were they?
Oh, I think he was selling them for $4 a piece because the Ninja Turtle ones they had too, like the movie ones. And I was like, oh, those are still the bubblegum wrappers, right? They're the same cards we're talking about, right? The bubblegum wrapper ones.
Yeah, I ate a piece of 30-year-old gum on a live stream once. So.
Yeah.
Well, someone donated $500. I was like, fine, I'll do it.
Okay. I mean, there was something. It wasn't just give, take.
I also ate not a ghost pepper, Smalls. What was the pepper I ate? Because somebody donated like $150. I was eating Chinese food and there was a pepper in it.
Just eat it.
Really gnarly pepper. It was above $100. I think it was something real high on the Scoville ratings, and they were like, I'll give you $100 if you eat that. I'm like,
see, I actually thought about doing stupid shit like that. Give me $100 and all, right? Because people.
I just do dumb shit. Like we'll have to do this on another episode. I'll tell you the story of how a bunch of nerds came to be, but like the dumb shit we do and we get paid for, like is just unreal. Like our community is just fucking hilarious. I love them so much.
It's a great place to be. I will say that. With that being said, I won't keep you much longer. Always a blast conversating with you. I know conversating is not a word, people, but I'm going to.
We made it up. It's our word now.
Right? This is our talk now. No, I appreciate you for being here. Obviously, I'm glad that things are turning around better for your health there. I mean, obviously having that removed, right? So good for you. Bless you. Right. So I'm happy to hear about that. Nothing but good vibes going forward in that regard. Obviously, we are now going to see you on YouTube since I've subscribed to a bunch of nerds now because I see you on TikTok.
Show them the YouTube so they can see some of the
shit. Let's go to that. So I got that now. I have.
So we have shorts,
you on
reels.
TikTok. Yeah, everything.
Well, yeah, you never see my TikToks though.
I see them all the time actually on Unboxed. You are actually one of the Unboxed is actually the most promoted thing whenever I log on. It's always that's why I said the algorithm. I like to hear that,
but
yeah, the algorithm is shit. But
we've been working on new content and launching new content. Like we're starting to do shorter. I'll just finish with this. We're doing shorter videos, more community engagement, talking to you guys about what your grails are. We had a dude do a duet with us yesterday with Nirvana's In Utero, and it was signed by Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, and Dave Grohl, and it was like, whoa.
Damn.
And like just some of the grails people are showing, like, I love when you guys do wet shit that we do, or like react to what we're doing. I want to see what you guys are collecting. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So as you can see, this is our YouTube channel. We had Renee Jacobs on, who is April O'Neil, your best friend in the whole world, works with her a lot.
Yes.
But,
yeah, I'm well aware of that. That's yeah.
But if you go through our if you go to our playlists, most of the past episodes of the brand show are there. Past episodes of Unbox, which is just started. Actually, happy anniversary Unbox, because today is August 15th. Today is the 3-year anniversary of Unbox.
Oh, happy anniversary!
Thank you. We started as a long form show on YouTube, and it's grown from there. And this was all an idea just to keep relevant during the pandemic. And then, you know, after a 2-year hiatus, coming back to be able to do this again and to entertain people and to really do this for why I do it, you know, because I love action figures and I love talking about them and I love fucking collecting and being stupid on social media. You know, we're a small channel clearly, but we're growing. We're working on 500 subs right now. So guys, get us over there, because I'm throwing a contest when we get to 500.
Let's do it.
Get us there.
A bunch of nerds is the username. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but there she is. There she is. I was like, I don't even think I got you on here. I'm going to type it into the screen, everybody.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's a good time doing it. You know, we're just trying to get out there with more people and, you know, really get this content out there to toy collectors and, you know, enthusiasts like us, and show them what, you know, we love. You know, and, you know, hopefully something that they love. And, you know, music is coming into that, tabletop video games are coming to this too. 2024 is going to be a really big year for our content, our content stream. And, you know, we're stoked for it, man. I'll tell you that.
Do you guys do any lives?
Via Twitch and Instagram most times. Yeah.
That's right.
YouTube is a little tough. Its algorithm is a little more feisty than
it
most
really
people.
is.
But yeah, we do a lot of different stuff. Just not live on YouTube yet. I mean, it's something that may happen in the future. We still have a show called Brand Talk that we're getting ready to launch, which is going to be a very short form show, 30 minutes, rapid fire questions. We also have a new podcast that just came out called Nerd Fight. You'll be seeing past episodes of that.
Wait, are you guys gonna fight each other, or nerds gonna scrap it out? That's gonna be amazing.
we have our host has a guest every week, and they fight over shit. It's really funny. We haven't launched them yet. They're coming to the show. We're still getting John Brown, our executive producer, acclimated to our YouTube and how YouTube works. And, you know, it's a one day at a time thing. Regularly, our past episodes of the brand show are up on a Friday. Last episode hasn't posted yet. Long story short, it's my fault.
No,
but yeah, that's where we're at.
You're busy man, busy. The brand is busy.
The brand is, I've gone by that for a while. Like, yeah. You know, when you throw a name on yourself and you call yourself the Generalissimo, when you take Stan Lee's tag as a homage to Stan Lee, and someone calls you the Larry Bird of action figure collecting, you better
stand up to that. That's right.
And damn it, I'll be damned if I don't back it up every fucking day of my life.
That's right. I hear you on that one. You stand by what you mean. So yeah, I got you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man. I do appreciate you.
My pleasure.
You'll have to come on again. We'll have to do different kind of, you know, themes on the show, which I was already actually thinking about doing themes. So it's perfect to get input from people. Halloween is right around the corner, and I do want to do a Halloween theme month. So
let me know. Let me know. We can do it. We can do a countdown of the best horror movies of all time. Or we can do the worst horror movies of all time. Worst horror movies of all time are probably more fun.
That's right. Plus, you got to find a figure to go with it. Like,
no, there's like if you have Shudder, there's some shit that you're gonna see that you're like, why
I know. You're not finding any of that shit. Hey, no, awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, I do see quite a bit on TikTok. I will hit the bell button so I can see more on the gram,
of you do it.
Of course.
All of you do it. Get me to 5,000 on Instagram. I'll throw a contest.
Let's do it. Everyone follow our guest. Of course, check out A Bunch of Nerds. Their unbox segment, I can't say it.
ABON unbox.
Yes. Right. The nerds unboxing shit.
Just some fat old guy in his 40s unboxing shit, plain and simple.
Nothing to see here. Right?
Nothing really to see here except for a lot of expensive toys. I'll tell you guys some story. We'll do story time with the brand next time. And I'll
That's
tell you
right.
stories about people I've offended by opening $100 figures.
Oh shit. Yeah, let's not talk about who we offend anymore, but I get you. All right, my dude. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful night. I'm gonna kick you off. I'll hit you backstage quickly before I go.
Right
and we'll go from there. So keep on branding. How about that?
I like it.
All right, bud. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's episode. Such a blast. Always love talking to Billy because even if it's just via text, like you can just feel, he wants to have fun and he's a very fun guy. So I appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, go ahead and check them out on YouTube. Of course, a bunch of nerds on YouTube down below. We have Billy on Instagram. All the socials are available through Billy's page. Of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay tuned with whatever videos we have or lives coming up. And of course, be sure to smash the like button to show some love for our guest today so that we can keep bringing on more guests from around the world. Of course, my favorite word is of course. We all know this by now. If you'd like to join us on the collector sector, just reach out any venue that you feel is easiest for you. We welcome everybody onto the show and we love getting to know all of you. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful night and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Have yourselves a great one and take care.